Okay, so one of the questions I want to start out with tonight is, do you feel like you're in control of your own health tonight? And is there an area when you look at your life that you feel like you just know you need to change? And in that area, do you feel equipped and empowered? Do you feel like you have the knowledge to know how to make changes in that one area? And those are some of the areas that we're hoping to be able to shed some light on and help you with this evening. Now we're going to go back to science class. My other background that I didn't share is I'm a nurse, so I tend to kind of get a little bit on the science end of it. We're going to talk about the cell. The cell is the basis for life in our body, of course. And from the moment that a cell is created until it dies off, it is needing oxygenation. The cells in our body are designed to keep our body well and healthy. But if a cell in our body isn't getting oxygenated or fed correctly, then it can lead to a sickness in the tissues and the organs, and then it can lead to illness and disease in the body. And so our goal is to have healthy, well-oxygenated cells. And there's also external factors to the health of our cells, and that comes into play where we look at whether we eat right, whether we exercise, are we living a very high stress life. Stress is really, really bad for us. It really affects our body negatively. And all of these things are going to play into essential oils. These are all the things that we're going to talk about. This is something that you can do for your body to really combat all of that stress and the toxins and all of that. So now Brooke is going to talk a little bit about the history of essential oils.
So I've heard a lot of people say that, this is just a fad. The essential oils, they're going to rise and then fall. But the thing about essential oils is that it's not something that's man-created, and it's not just a recent finding. There are over 200 references of aromatics, incense, ointments, and oils throughout the Bible. We believe that God gave us what we need to live a whole and healthy life back in the Garden of Eden. And we know that in biblical times that this was the form of medicine used. However, in modern times, we've kind of drifted away from those natural things. I believe that God Almighty is our healer, and we believe that He gave us these oils as an amazing tool just for our health and wellness. There are several other documents in history, from the Romans to the Egyptians with their hieroglyphics, that also point back to the use of essential oils and using them for their medical and health and wellness for their families. Also, in addition to just the general history, Young Living as a company itself celebrated 20 years of being in business last year. So it's not a brand new company that's just surfaced. They've been around, they know their stuff. Gary Young is the founder, and he is an incredible man that knows what he's doing, has done the research himself, has done a lot of the digging in the grounds himself and planting himself. So he is very much involved in the process and in the research of it from beginning to the end. And so he is the founder who started the business 20 years ago, but his research started even long before that. So it is not a new fad. It is it's a historical thing that we are just beginning to learn about again and valuing again, I believe.
But where are we today with modern medicine? Well, most of the time you are trying to treat a symptom, right? If you get a headache, what do you think? Well, what can I take to get rid of this headache? Okay, so you go for that little pill, you swallow that, you're like, I want to just get rid of this headache. But what you should be thinking about is, what is the root cause of that headache? Why do I have this headache? And that's what helps put us back in charge of our own health, because when we are starting to think about the root cause of the issue, then we're starting to think about our overall health instead of just treating the symptoms. So, what if I told you that there was a way that we could balance our body chemistry and that we could get to a greater state of health overall? Would you guys be interested in that? I know you would. That's why you're all here. So we're going to talk about 4 core strategies to help you guys work toward that. And the first one is we want to help you learn how to reduce the exposure and the effects of the toxins out in your everyday lives. And we also want to reduce the effects of stress and negative emotions. And then, of course, we want to just flood your body with things that really will nourish your body and help it do things that it was supposed to do. And then we also want to try to work towards replacing some of those conventional medications and replacing those with some more natural solutions. Does that sound like a good plan? Yes.
talk to you now about what essential oils are. I'm assuming that everybody's heard of them because you're here tonight. And actually, they've really become very popular where most people have heard of essential oils. But we want to tell you what they actually are. Essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. They are a concentrated botanical extract that has very specific properties that help the plant to fight infection, to keep it free from disease, and to initiate the regeneration process for the actual plant itself. They actually have a similar chemical structure to that found in the human body and in human cells, and they work to keep the plant healthy, much like our blood is constantly working to keep us healthy. So that's really what makes essential oils unique. There's 3 features to essential oils. The first one is potency. A lot of times I'll hear people say, well, can't I just drink a cup of peppermint tea and won't that do the same thing? Well, the difference is in the potency. Essential oils are 100 to 100,000 times more potent than herbs. So you would have to drink a lot of peppermint tea to get the same effect as using a drop of essential oil. For example, for every ton of grapefruit used, you get 1.5 pounds of essential oil out of that. So, and it's similar stories with lavender. They show pictures of just mountains of lavender and then this much essential oil. So, in using just a tiny little drop of essential oil, you get a much more concentrated effect from that. The next feature of essential oils is volatility. The atmospheric pressure is the only thing that's required to change an essential oil from a liquid to a gas. So when we inhale an essential oil, we just immediately can sense the effect to our body. It can be breathed in, and it has a very quick and significant effect on the mind, the emotions, and the body. Due to the chemical makeup of essential oils, they are very quickly absorbed, and rapidly they are able to go through biological barriers and get into the bloodstream without having to go through the normal digestive pathways like if you were to take a pill. The cool thing about essential oils is that it actually takes 22 seconds for an essential oil to reach the brain. So inhalation is the very quickest way to get an effect from an essential oil. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes if you apply it topically. Topically means you're applying it to your skin, and if you apply it topically, it takes 2 to 3 minutes for the benefit of that oil to reach your bloodstream, and in 20 minutes, it's affected every cell in the entire body, and in 2.5 hours, the essential oil is completely metabolized, which is crazy cool. Very, very fast. There's not very many medications that can do that. And the other thing is traditional medications cannot, because they're man-made, they can't get in at the cellular level. But I'm not going to lose you. I'll stop there. The other thing is versatility. Essential oils are very versatile, and I did already mention inhalation. That's one way. Through inhalation, you can just actually put the oil right directly into your hand and just cup your hands over your face, and you can inhale it that way. You can also use the diffuser as well. That's one way. The other thing is you can put it like, make a little tint, like the boiling water or the hot water on the stove. You really don't want the water boiling because that temperature is too hot, but you can do hot water and then just put like a little tint over and do it that way. And then the other way is topically, and I did mention that. We're going to talk to you a little bit more about that, but topically just means that you're applying it directly to the skin, whether diluted or straight by itself. And then the last way that you can use Young Living essential oils is some of the oils can be used internally. So they can either be put in a glass of water or a glass of honey. And when we talk about that, we're usually only talking about 1 or 2 drops of oil. And that isn't an option with all of the oils, but it is with some of them. And Brooke's going to cover a little bit about safety with essential oils.
So we just have a few safety precautions that we wanted to communicate with you before we get started. Firstly, just talking about using oils internally. It's important, number one, that you recognize that we are only talking about Young Living oils. They are therapeutic grade. Other oils that you would buy at the grocery store or health food store, they may communicate cure on the bottle, but typically you will still find that they've been adulterated or have additives. Maybe they're chemically synthetic oils as well. So we are talking about Young Living essential oils when we talk about taking them internally. Another thing with Young Living oils is some of them are not recommended for internal use. So it's important to read the directions on the bottle. The bottle will say whether it's recommended for that or not. Another term that we want to talk about tonight, we've talked about topical use. You may hear us use the word neat, which just means straight out of the bottle. Not diluted in any way, shape, or form, but just using the oil as it is on your skin. And we also will talk about it being diluted. Some of the oils are recommended for dilution, and again, it's important to read the bottle. The bottle will give you that ratio as far as how you want to dilute it for use on your skin topically. And remember, when you're when you're using the oils, and say one of the other topics I mentioned is not to put it in your eyes and ears. If for some reason you were to get it in your eye and it were to start to sting, we know you don't use water to wash it out. You're going to use a carrier oil, which I'll talk about in a second, because water and oil don't mix. So it's important to use another oil, a carrier oil, to help relieve that pain or burning sensation that you might feel if it were to get in your eye. A carrier oil are those fatty oils that we have pretty much in our house that we would use to cook with, different things like that. We typically would use like a coconut oil, grapeseed oil, almond oil, or extra virgin olive oil is another one that we use. And so we'll use those carrier oils for several reasons to dilute. Maybe the dilution is for, again, they're potent, and so you're only going to use 1 drop, 1 or 2 drops maybe, and if you want to cover a large area of your stomach, say, then you're going to use a carrier oil to help dilute it to make that oil travel the whole area that you're wanting the oil to reach. Another reason that you would dilute it is we have some oils that are considered hot oils, and they have a mild burning sensation maybe when they're on your skin. And so it's important to use a dilution, a carrier oil, to dilute that, to relieve that. And another reason we dilute is definitely for children. Also for pets, there's different ratios for that you can use essential oils for pets, but you would dilute them as well as for children. They're smaller beings than us, and so it's important that we dilute them when we use them on kids. And photosensitivity is a mild sensitivity to sunlight that can be caused by all citrus oils when applied to your skin for the next 24 to 48 hours. So it's important if you're using the citrus oils not to go outside. If they're using on your skin, exposed skin, then you're going to be more sensitive to the sun when you go out. Important to remember that. Essential oils have a lot of detoxing properties, and we recommend that you would store them in either a stainless steel glass or a glass when you're consuming them. Like, for example, a lemon oil, it would, in a plastic jar, in a plastic cup, would leach out the toxins, and then those toxins would be in your water, and you'd be drinking those. So it's always important to remember to use glass or stainless steel. And I already mentioned not to put it in your eyes and ears. Those are areas that you can still treat those areas, though. We can use them around the area of your ear or around the area of eye, and the oils are still going to have their beneficial properties for those areas. And also pregnancy, or being pregnant or nursing. There's several oils that are recommended not for use during those times of life. So it's important that you do your research and know what oils those are if that's where you're at in life. I think that's all.
So the big question you're all asking yourself now is, do they really work? And if they really work, why have I not heard of them before? Well, the first answer is yes, they really work, or we wouldn't be here. And second of all, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before. You know, our traditional medicine, or modern medicine, is been focused primarily on the pharmaceutical industry, and there hasn't been a lot of focus on natural methods because it's not the big pharmaceutical business. But I was very pleased whenever I did start to look into the essential oils and start to do my own research to find that there really have been studies done about them. You just don't see commercials for it on TV. And you really can find a lot of information and studies for all different kinds of circumstances and issues of life. So I just encourage you to really look for that because, again, our modern medicine is just trying to treat the symptoms. And what we're trying to do is go to the root cause and get you into a healthier state overall. So there is definitely research there. But Amy, you want to tell us about, is there a cheaper brand of oil? Because maybe I could find this somewhere else.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. And you know, really that was something that we wondered too when we got started because we're all pretty thrifty. Those of you that know us well know that to be the case. And so when we looked at essential oils and we heard about them, we were like, why didn't we know these existed? And then the next question was, is there someplace cheaper to get them? And so we started researching, and when I researched, what I found is that in the essential oil industry, there isn't a lot of regulation by the FDA because they don't consider it to be for medicinal purposes. And the Young Living essential oils, we use them for therapeutic reasons. And so they're actually the top 5% of essential oils that are in the world. They're the top 5% of the market. So even though there are other essential oils that are available on the market, they're just not anywhere close to the same quality that you get with Young Living essential oils. And why do they look different? Well, because of the FDA and the lack of regulations in the essential oil industry, it can say on the bottle that it's a pure 100% essential oil. Well, that means actually that all of the ingredients that are in the bottle are pure, but it could be pure olive oil, and it could be a little bit of pure lavender, and there isn't any regulation on what is actually pure that's in that bottle. It can be a lot of different things. It can be cut with alcohol. And so we call that adulterated. So it just basically means that it's not all 100% plant-based essential oil that's in the bottle. And when you get a Young Living oil, you know that it's all 100% plant-based essential oil. That's what's in the bottle. And then there's also something that Young Living has. It's called the Seed to Seal Guarantee. And this was really the game changer for me. This was really what was the thing that made me decide to choose this company, but then to choose them for life. So I've never had another essential oil in my home, and I never will. And the reason why is because Young Living promises you that they're going to look at, from the time that the pure seed goes in the ground to all through along the process, they harvest the oil, and they're growing, and they're monitoring the temperatures. And then once they get to the point of distillation, they're monitoring it all the way through there. And then when they get to the point where it's distilled, then they check the oil and they make sure that the chemical constituents are correct to the standard. And then if they're not correct, then that oil isn't bottled and used. And they don't just check the oil themselves, but they have a third-party tester come in and monitor the oils. And that Seed to Seal guarantee was enough for me that was the only oil that I wanted to use on my family. Because, like I said, we use them for therapeutic reasons. We don't just use them to make our house smell good. We use them for all kinds of things that we're going to tell you about. And I think that's it. I'll let you go now.
All right. So just as we get started tonight, we are going to talk about the Everyday Oils collection. It's a really good broad spectrum of a lot of different uses. And you've got your packets there. You can kind of follow along with us. So we're going to talk about 11 different oils. That kit currently includes lavender, peppermint, frankincense, lemon, and Melaleuca eternifolia, which is widely known as tea tree oil. Those are the single oils we're going to talk about. And then we're also going to talk about blend oils, which are blends that Young Living as a company has put together for specific purposes and reasons. And those are Purification, Panaway, Joy, Thieves, Stress Away, and Citrus Fresh. So we're going to start by talking about peppermint. And it is one of the most potent and effective single oils available. It is used for mental clarity and for alertness, as well as soothing digestive needs, easing gas and bloating, easing diarrhea and indigestion. It increases normal respiratory function and also helps the clearing of nasal passages. Peppermint increases physical performance, really great for workout time. I really like to put it in my water before I go work out, just gives me that energy boost and alertness to give it all I have. And also it helps with mild discomfort in the head. 1 drop of peppermint on your big toe can really do a lot of wonders for your head discomforts. A drop of peppermint and lemon is actually how my first experience with Young Living oils. In a cup of water, I had a lot of seasonal congestion. It was for over a month that I could not breathe, and someone shared a glass of water that had a drop of peppermint and lemon, and I could breathe, and I was amazed. I had tried everything, and finally I had something that worked for me. So I was really excited about that. Like I said, I use peppermint for workouts, and also I use it just in the afternoon. Instead of reaching for a cup of coffee, I'll put a drop in water and take it, and it's just kind of that energizing boost to get me through the rest of the day. And also, peppermint is one of my daughter's favorites. She has a lot of tummy troubles that she deals with, and we will apply a diluted drop to her tummy, and within minutes, she is in the bathroom doing her business, and then up and playing again, like nothing went wrong. And she'll be crying and in tears, so much in pain. And so it's really exciting that I have something for her that I can trust, that's safe, that helps her quickly just get past that in her life. Also, one fun fact, just that the primary constituent of peppermint is menthol, which is a known analgesic. And so it's great, it has great numbing properties, which can be really good to use for toothaches, to any boo-boos that might show up in your house, or even itch relief. It's really great. So now we're going to talk about lavender.
Well, lavender is often nicknamed the Swiss Army knife of essential oils because it has such a wide array of uses. And common uses for it, you guys have probably all heard that lavender helps you relax and sleep. So that is common, that is true. Lavender is one of the relaxing oils, but it's great for a lot of other things too. It's fabulous for all kinds of skin issues. So if you have cuts or scrapes, you can put the lavender on there. It's going to help speed up the process of healing, and it's also going to help it not get infected. And you can also use that on, just use it on your skin just for overall skin health, really, even if you don't have a particular issue that you're using it there for. But it's good for burns. That's one of the other popular uses for lavender. And the French scientist René Maurice Gatzfos was the first to discover lavender's ability to regenerate tissues and aid in wound healing. He severely burned his arm in a lab explosion, and he applied lavender to it, and that helped to speed up the healing process. And it also prevented a secondary infection, which could have proved fatal. Now, most of us probably don't have explosion-type burns in our house, but I have burnt my hand getting stuff in and out of the oven before. And it's true. I burnt my hand on the oven, and I kept on making dinner, didn't pay any attention to it later. It was like, oh, that's almost a blister. I better do something about that. And so I put the lavender on it, and it started to go down right away. The sting was out of it, and it didn't hurt anymore to touch it. And by that evening, what would have been a blister was totally gone. It was fine. And it still took several days for it to completely heal. But just putting 1 drop of lavender on it a couple times a day helped it to not be sore during that time. So it's great for a lot of first aid skin situations like that. And the other thing too, as far as skin, is just sunburns. That's another one. You can make your own after sunburn cream with some pure aloe vera and some lavender oil, and that would be very soothing to your skin. And also great for helping your head if you've got seasonal stuffiness like Brooke was talking about. Just putting some on the bridge of your nose or on your eye bones there really helps to clear up your sinuses.
And I'm going to talk to you now about frankincense. So frankincense is kind of fun because everybody's heard of it, and it was one of the 3 gifts that was brought to baby Jesus in biblical times. The cool thing that you might not know about it is that it was actually considered more valuable than the gold or the myrrh when it was brought to baby Jesus. And it was commonly used to heal every ailment in biblical times. That's just what it was known for. That's what they used it for. And it's been recognized as the oil that's used in a holy anointing oil for thousands of years. And frankincense is actually known to support the integrity of cellular structure and protect the DNA and help with regeneration of DNA. It has restorative properties. It can be used for mood boosting, immune system support. It aids in tissue repair. It improves mental clarity. And it improves the appearance of healthy skin. So a couple of ways that we use frankincense in our house. Well, the first thing that I did when I got my oils kit was I took some really good coconut oil and I used lavender and frankincense and a couple other oils, and I made my own face cream. And so I quit using a wrinkle cream. Those can get pretty expensive. And I started using coconut oil with essential oils in it. And that's what most of us do now is we start to replace some of the products in our house and in our bathroom and even in our kitchen. And we replace them with natural products that are toxin free. So that's one of the things that we do with frankincense. I've heard of people having a lot of good success with working on some scars and some stretch marks and different things like that. So you could make a cream for that. Wrinkles, we already talked about that. It can help you with your concentration. It can also help you with just a little bit of seasonal sadness. A lot of people use frankincense for that as well. Other fun thing is frankincense is one that you can use to get rid of like a wart, a mole, skin tags, different things like that. So it's another one that has a lot of benefits for the skin, just a whole lot.
All right, now we're going to talk about lemon. Lemon essential oil is actually acquired from the rind of the lemon, and it takes about 3,000 lemons to make 1 kilo of essential oil. The citrus fruits gained a lot of distinction as a vital nutrient when Scottish naval surgeon James Lind successfully used lemons and oranges to treat scurvy-affected sailors. So kind of an interesting historical fact again. The lemon oil contains 73% limonene, which is a potent antioxidant photochemical that prevents DNA damage linked to cancer and accelerated aging. Lemon is also mood boosting, and it has been found to really decrease mental fatigue, as well as it's a great immune booster. And it can really be a healthy additive to our immune system to get it pumping, and those stimulate the white blood cells. And we know that white blood cells are our body's first line of defense against disease and illness. So it's a great thing to drink in your water. I drink it a lot in my water throughout the day. Just glad that it's helping my immune system is one of the biggest things that I love for it. And alerting again, and also detoxing. It's got some great detoxing properties in it, which is also wonderful. And it provides support for the liver, kidneys, and gallbladder as well. And it can decrease mild feelings of sadness. Again, that uplifting properties of it. Another way I use lemon is I make dryer balls at home out of 100% wool, and I'll drop some lemon oil on it and throw it in my dryer instead of fabric softeners. And to get those toxins out of my life, I switched over to the dryer ball, and so it freshens my laundry as my laundry's drying. You can also, if you don't have a dryer ball, you can just put it on a wet rag, put a couple drops of oil, and throw it in your dryer as well. And my sister had a lot of issues with gallstones, and she switched over to drinking lemon water all day long, and really helped some of her symptoms related to that. And another way to use lemon is it's really great for, like I said, detoxing and purifying. So you can add 6 drops of lemon and 6 drops of purification, which is another oil we'll talk about in a minute, to a spray bottle filled with water, and it can be your natural, non-toxic cleaner, surface cleaner for your house. And another fun thing that is great for lemon is that it can remove sticky residue. So whether it be a label on a bottle, or we were talking earlier about like a Band-Aid, you know, when you pull a Band-Aid off and you've got that sticky residue, you can use a little drop of lemon to help rub that sticky residue and cleans it right up. So those are some great ways to use lemon.
The next one we're going to talk about is Melaleuca alternifolia. And actually the common name for that is tea tree oil. And so a lot of people have actually heard of tea tree oil. It's probably one of the more popular oils that we sell. And it was actually named tea tree oil by Captain James Cook. He landed in Botany Bay, Australia in 1770 and discovered the leaves and found that they made a great tea. And once they started using it as tea, they realized that it had great immune system benefits, and so they continued to use it to support the immune system from that point on. The benefits of tea tree oil are so broad, we could have an entire class all night on the benefits of tea tree oil, which is actually that way with a lot of these oils. We're just giving you just a few little snippets of ways that we use the oils. We could go on and on, but we won't. Melaleuca, some ways that we use Melaleuca. It is fantastic for your skin, and the primary way that we began using it in our house was for acne. One of the reasons that I was looking into essential oils is that my daughter was a teenager at the time and still is, but she was struggling with teenage acne. And we had been taking her to the dermatologist, and she had used all the expensive meds, and they really didn't work very well. And then besides that, anybody that's used those, they know that it really dries your skin out a lot. It bleaches out all your towels, and you know, they wanted her to be on daily antibiotics for months and months and months, and I didn't want that. So we started looking at essential oils. We ordered Melaleuca. At the time, it didn't come in the starter kit. Now it does, so that's cool. But we ordered it, and she started using it in a face cream. And then at the same time, she also started taking oils internally because she had a lot of acid reflux going on. And the combination of the two, her using essential oils on a daily basis and also using Melaleuca, she has no acne now. She hasn't had any for over a year. Ever since we started using essential oils, she just doesn't have any anymore. So that was a really amazing testimony for my family. Other ways that we use Melaleuca in our household, we add it to shampoos and conditioners. It's really good for your hair. It is good to detract fleas on your pets. It is great for, like, if a little one has a sore ear, you can put it around the bone of the ear. It's a really good household cleaner. A lot of people will use this oil to make their own household cleaner. And body wash is another thing that I really like to do. It'll also, if you put a drop of it in the summertime on a tick, it'll just make a tick back right out, and then you can flush them down the toilet.
Yeah. Speaking of bugs, let's talk about purification. Because that's another one to prevent having the tick to begin with. So purification is the first blend that we're going to talk about. Everything that we've talked about so far has been a single oil, just lavender, that's all that's in that bottle. Now we're going to talk about a few blends, and so there's several oils combined to make these up. So purification is a blend of citronella, lemongrass, lavender, rosemary, and Melaleuca A, the one she was just talking about. And it's known as the great neutralizer. So if you wanted to clean the air in your house, this would be a great one to diffuse, like what we're doing right now. This is actually thieves here, but diffusing purification is going to help you get rid of odors. It's not just masking the odor, it really is cleaning the air and helping to get rid of those smells. And like she was talking about with the ticks, you can actually make up your own homemade bug spray with purification, peppermint, and thieves. And I actually did this with my family last summer. We went camping in the woods for 3 days, and all 6 of us came home with only 3 bug bites and no ticks at all. And that's what we used the whole weekend. So I was pretty sold on that, and I didn't feel like I was putting poisonous chemicals on my kids every time I wanted to spray them with the bug spray. So we were very thrilled with that. And a lot of people do use that as well on their animals. So you can actually use purification as a replacement for your traditional flea and tick things for your dog. Now, it's not going to last for a whole month like some of your other ones might. You're going to need to put it on a lot more regularly than that. But again, it would be a natural solution to helping out your pets as well. And ear mites is another thing that you can use it for your pets too. And like I said, just cleaning the air, outside of using the diffuser at your home, you might want to clean the air in your car or in your kid's gym bag or something like that. You can put the drops of purification actually on a cotton ball and put it in the vents area of your car and let that circulate through the air. Or put it in your kids' stinky shoes or their gym bag or something like that. So,
All right, next we're going to talk about Panaway. Panaway is another blend containing wintergreen, peppermint, clove, and helichrysum. Panaway really soothes all types of muscle discomfort and everyday aches. It's useful for soreness and minor pain after workouts, or aches and pains in your joints and ligaments. It has natural properties that relieve the swelling, which is great. A few of the properties, the individual properties, I'm going to just highlight. Wintergreen contains properties that are found in most sports balms and ointments, and that is in Panaway. And wintergreen also, it'll cause an immediate redness to the skin, which you can tell then that's increasing the blood flow, and that aids the body in healing itself naturally. Another part of Panaway is peppermint. Wow, that was a lot of P's. is 40% menthol, which we kind of talked about before when we talked about just peppermint. So remember that it has the numbing and cooling effects when applied to the skin or inhaled. And then also it has clove, which is a compound that a lot of dentists use. You can read the Journal of Dentistry and you can see there that they use it for the numbing effect as well. And also the helichrysum. It increases blood flow to the area of discomfort and aids the body in natural healing again. My husband, this is one of his favorites. From the moment I got the kit, that's the one that he took that he ran out of first. And I was like, we have to replace that now. But it was, he's a sign language interpreter, so he's using his hands all day long, moving his hands, and a lot of that repetitive movement, he would come home and use that on his achy muscles and joints and find a lot of relief. So it was great for him. One of his favorites as well as some tension, discomfort in the head that he would get, then he would use it on the back of his neck to relieve a lot of that pain. And growing pains, it also works for that. For arthritic pets, you can dilute Panaway to help with them, with that discomfort in your pets. And yeah, it's just a really great massage oil for sore muscles. That's really the biggest thing that we use it for in our house.
Our next blend is Thieves, and that is a blend of clove, cinnamon, rosemary, lemon, and Eucalyptus radiata. Now you might be wondering, where did the name Thieves come from? It actually came from the 15th century during the Black Plague. People were, this group of robbers was going around and robbing all the people who were dying and dead from this plague, and they weren't contracting it. They weren't getting sick. And so when they were finally captured, they gave up their recipe of this herbal blend that they were using to protect themselves from getting sick. So that's a similar blend that we've got here today. And this really is just kind of my go-to oil. If anybody's not feeling just 100% at my house, we definitely are going for the Thieves because it helps to boost your immune system. Clove is really high in antioxidants, and several of those others there are great in inhibiting all kinds of other germs and bad stuff that you don't want going on. And so this really is just, like I said, our go-to if we're not feeling great. You can apply this one topically, you can diffuse it, or you can actually ingest this one too. A lot of times I'll just make a cup of warm water with a spoonful of honey and a couple drops of Thieves and drink that if I'm not feeling good. So it's great. If my throat is irritated, then it's soothing on the way down because the clove has that numbing effect, and then it's also just helping my body boost its immune system. And talking about the diffuser here, like I said, if anybody is sick in my house, what I would do is I would fill up this diffuser and put some Thieves in it. It'll run for about 3 hours if you just turn it on and walk away. But they've actually done studies that show that Thieves can kill airborne germs, 99% of them, within 20 to 30 minutes of being diffused in a room. And so what I'll do is I'll fill that up with Thieves, and I'll set my timer, because otherwise I'll forget, and put it in a room for 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, I take it to the next room. And so I'll just rotate that diffuser through the house. So we're killing all the airborne germs so we don't have to share everything with everybody. And that's a great way to try to keep your household healthy. And like I said, with 4 kids, you don't want everybody getting it. So it's a good way to prevent everyone spreading it. Another thing that it does while it's being diffused is it can actually kill mold spores too. So this would be great to diffuse if you have a basement area that might be a little bit musty. That would be very helpful in that area. Now, like she was saying earlier about the clove and using it for dental issues, for numbing properties, we actually have a whole line of Thieves products that are for dental issues. So you've got your dental floss, toothpaste, mouthwash, things like that. And then we have also a Thieves cleaner. And I love this because it's the same blend of oils, but it's not toxic chemicals. So I can give this to my kids and be like, here, go clean your bathroom. And I don't have to feel bad about sending them in there, and they can go and clean it without getting a headache before they can even get out because of all the chemicals. This is actually a concentrate, so one of these actually makes 14 of these. So it's quite a lot. That's mixed with 1 ounce of cleaner to 24 ounces of water. And I feel like that's a good ratio. I use that pretty much on every hard surface in my house. So kitchen counters, sinks, bathrooms, mirrors, windows, any of those areas. It's a great disinfectant for that.
Okay, so the next one, the next oil blend that we're going to talk about is Joy. And Joy is a blend of actually 10 different oils: bergamot, lemon, palmarosa, ylang ylang, mandarin, rose, geranium, jasmine, Roman chamomile, and coriander. That's a mouthful. Interestingly enough, I did not care for Joy at all, and neither does my husband. It's not a favorite of ours. It's very floral. So if you really love floral scents, then you would probably really love it. But it's actually grown on me, and I use it all the time now. I just started using it because of all the amazing benefits to it, and it's like that with the oils. Some of them that you maybe don't love in the beginning, if you just continue to use them for the benefits, you'll find that they'll grow on you. It was like that with lavender with me as well. But Joy, what we use it for is just exactly like the word. It's just uplifting for your mood. A lot of women use this with the monthly cycle, like we're happy one day and then we're not so the next day. Well, Joy is the thing that just makes me more even keel, makes me more likable during the times that I maybe wouldn't be so. And so daily, I'm telling you, just every day, it makes a difference. So that's what I use it for. It's also great for people who are grieving, have a little bit of sadness, struggle with that, good for that. Menstrual cramps. A lot of women use it, just dilute it, rub it on their stomach for menstrual cramps. It's also good for encouraging romance if that's something you're aspiring towards.
Yeah.
It's just because a lot of people do like the scent. A lot of people will make like a carpet cleaner and they'll just put some baking soda and Joy and they'll just sprinkle it on their carpets and vacuum it up. You can put it on a cotton ball and put it in your air vent in your car. And of course you can do that with any of the oils, but Joy is one that some people will use that for. I have in my notes, this is good. Rub a drop daily over your heart to relieve feelings of frustration and balance your emotions. Who couldn't use a little bit of that? And now Bert's going to go into Stress Away.
Stress Away. Stress Away is a blend of copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, ocotillo, and lavender. Stress Away is exactly that. Stress away. Wouldn't we all love to have a stress-free life? But stresses come and go, and we know that. So Stress Away is a blend that is just really good for stressful situations, feelings of occasional anxiety and tension. And it's just really, again, another one that's helpful for mental balance. And also it helps with focus. So a few of the single oils in Stress Away are cedarwood, which is known as a really great relaxant, and copaiba, which is historically it's used in Peru and Brazil as an herbal medicine for a wide variety of ailments, including discomfort in joints and sore throats. And then also, it's just a great oil to keep in my purse. Like, I love it for those moments that kind of hit you, you know, after you picked up the kids from school and they're all screaming in the back seat, where's my stress away? Or if you're at work and you've got a project that you need to get done and you're just, you know, it's that moment of tension and you have got a timeline, grab your stress away and throw it on. Just to, again, bring some balance back in there. It has vanilla in it, which it almost gives it a sweet smell to it, and I really love the scent of it. You can also get it in a roller bottle, which is great. Young Living sells it already in a roller bottle, and it's an awesome one to have just, again, in your purse for those moments that you need it. And our last oil that we're going to talk about today is Citrus Fresh. This is a blend of orange, tangerine, mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, and spearmint. So this blend, again, like the other citrus oil we talked about, lemon, has a lot of uplifting and energizing properties, and at the same time, its freshness is really calming and relaxing as well. We talked about the lemon having the benefits for the immune system, same way with Citrus Fresh. The different thing about Citrus Fresh is that it has spearmint in it, and spearmint is known as a metabolism booster. And so many times I might pick up Citrus Fresh to throw in my water when I know I want my metabolism working that day. And again, it's one that I use in my water. I'll put it in, or also I use it for my dryer, freshen my clothes with Citrus Fresh. So now Vicki is going to share with us another great product from Young Living.
So that was our last oil that we're featuring, but we wanted to also just mention to you the Ninja Red supplement drink here. It is our superfruit antioxidant drink. The superfruit in there is the wolfberry, which comes from the Ninja province of China, so that's why it's called Ninja Red. And it's actually the highest superfruit in antioxidants. And so it has the Ninja wolfberry in there, and then it's got several other fruit purees, and it has several essential oils as well. And I love this just because it gives me a great boost of energy for the day. And it's not like a quick boost and then a drop like you might get with caffeine or other energy drinks. But this is actually long-lasting, real sustaining energy levels for your body. And because of all the antioxidants in it, it's actually blocking the free radical cells that could damage your other healthy cells. And really, it's just supporting your body overall. Primarily your heart health and your vision health and your immune system are all hugely benefited from the Ninja Red. And so we just wanted to mention that to you. It comes a couple of different ways. So you can get it in the bottle like this, or it comes in the little foil packs that you can take with you. These are 2 ounces. The difference here is that this one needs to be refrigerated after you've opened it, and these don't. You could just take these in your lunchbox or however you wanted to do that. But we wanted to just mention it, and if you do get the collection that we're featuring tonight, you'll get a couple of samples of that too.
And so those are all of the oils that we're going to talk about tonight. And you might want to know at this point, some of you I'm sure probably are already a distributor with Young Living, but for those of you who aren't, I know what we wanted to know when we first heard about Young Living is how do we get started with this? It's a little overwhelming. This is kind of a lot of information. Well, there's a couple different ways to do it. So Young Living is a membership-based company. And so if someone that is not a distributor with Young Living were just to log into the website and they were to order peppermint, you can get peppermint, but you're going to pay 24% more than what we pay when we order peppermint. And so the best way to do it is to become a member of Young Living. And the least expensive way that you can do that is you can get just a membership. It is just a membership to get the oils at discount for $40 is what that costs. But the way that we preferred to do it, the way that we all got started, is we order the premium starter kit, which is all of the oils that we featured tonight, and the diffuser as well. And this is basically what's going to come in your box if you decide to order that. It's the home diffuser, which is right here, and this has 10 of the oils that we talked about tonight in this little box, and then this has actually a couple of the Ninja Red, and it has the extra oil, which is the Citrus Fresh in there, and then it has a couple samples and a little roller bottle, or a little roller fitment that you can actually put on and turn one of your oils into a roller bottle. And all of that costs $150, and it also comes with the membership. So the value of all of that, it's by far the best value. And then when you're running and you hurt your knee, you've got some Panaway for it. And when your head hurts or your boss is driving you crazy, you've got Stress Away. So it's one of those things where we use different oils in different seasons. Like right now, we use a lot of Thieves. Everybody uses a lot of Thieves. But in the summertime, you just cannot have enough purification. Everybody's using purification for getting rid of bugs and that type of thing. So this is really the way that we recommend, if you're able to do it, getting started is doing the premium starter kit. And at that point, you have the ability to get the oils for yourself at cost in the future if you want to reorder. And everybody always wants to know, well, does that mean that I have to make a certain amount of a purchase every month? You don't. The only thing that Young Living asks is that sometime over the course of the next year that you make a $50 purchase. And if you were to not do that, then your account would just go inactive. They don't charge your card or anything like that. It would just go inactive. And the way to prevent that is to educate yourself, and you're all here. So that's a good step that you all can do to figure out how to use your oils. Another thing that we want to talk about is that this business has so blessed us. It's really blessed us. We didn't set out to start a business. I'm a nurse, and my girlfriends have their own things that they're involved in their life, and we didn't set out to do this as a business. All we really wanted to do was get our oils for free because we really loved the oils and we wanted a lot of them. And so that's really what we set out to do, but it's very easy to share oils with your friends and family because they work. And so if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in the opportunity as a business, then you can come up and talk to us after the class. If you share oils with a couple of friends, then you've already got your kit paid for. So that is actually the conclusion of our class. And we really want to thank you guys for coming.